I do gotta ask y'all a question. I know y'all get into it a lot, and I know it is mixy, but how do y'all feel about having to respond or deal with the narratives that are constantly created with the broad and diverse JBP community? Their voice was always there, but now I feel like the JBP community voice is just as strong and heard and acknowledged almost as if they was on
But
Patreon.
I salute their approach is, I just don't entertain it.
It's amusing how frequently Joe Budden podcast guests bring up stories about the show. Zaire was only lately a member of the JBP, or to be more precise, a member of the JBN. He is therefore already familiar with the stories surrounding the JBP. A special thanks to the JBTV community. I want to thank everyone who creates content on the JBP. I don't criticize the community since I am a member of it, I just think it's hilarious that everyone who is purportedly more famous than us is always criticizing us. I think it's strange that it's now a feature of the show, even though many of us earn money or even a career by speaking on them and telling stories. So much so that Joe and a few others have contributed to it, using some of our talking points to generate topics for the show. Aside from providing us with flowers or credit, is this a negative thing? And one of the prominent figures in this community is saying this. Is this a negative thing? Are we the cause of the show's decline in quality? Joe and a few of the co-hosts have a special place in our hearts, which is why we are all still here. Let's be clear, though, the version of the program that we all fell in love with is very different from the present version. And for the longest time, I've been attempting to identify the causes of it. I've been attributing it to their lack of friendship. And it was evident in the chemistry that they lacked. I've been attributing it to Joe disclosing his overall income and the amount they are paid as a result. I've been blaming them for everything. But do we need to start taking responsibility for the environment we've established on the JBP? Zaire was on the show once more and is returning as a guest to discuss this. On this topic, they have had musical guests talk. 2 Chainz even discussed what Joe was receiving and the enthusiasm surrounding Joe's podcast. 2 of the main topics of discussion. Are we to blame for the JBP's current situation? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And additionally, I know that I haven't been replying to comments as frequently as I once did. I'm sorry about that. I've been reading the comments, but I haven't been leaving any, since once you start one, you want to make sure you answer them all. I need to improve at that, but I'm not trying to pick and choose. I'm sorry. In any case, is Zaire right? Do the stories affect them in ways that they would prefer not to? And additionally, Mark recently discussed this. At this time, it couldn't have been longer than 3 weeks, regarding how much you believe what we say, how much information you provide, how much you contribute through the places and everything else. Speaking of which, there is a great deal of drama taking place in the areas. And additionally, many of you have asked me to talk about Rory and the old Twitter, or the old tweets scenario. I have to keep a close eye on this area. Before I make my claims, I'm attempting to improve my ability to watch all of this video in its entirety. So please give me some time to view the original areas. But the people who have these podcasts, host them, and participate in their communities make up the Spaces community. It appears that the Spaces community is only producing drama. But I did want to talk about it because Zaire brought it up, and furthermore, I'd rather hear your opinions than mine, so please let me know in the comments.
Yeah, that part.
That's what I want.
What type of spot?
A content house?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Or something else?
Yeah, content house.
A content house?
Space.
What type of content house?
Just a space where I can create, have people come through, create different rooms, different atmospheres.
Emanny, I want to start by giving you a shout out because I have been encouraging you to start your own business for a long time, even if I haven't given you the keys. You have the charisma, you already have fan interaction, and if you start producing material on your own, you have the best chance of outperforming everyone else. I'd like to commend you for making that move. But now that you're sharing your objectives with others, sir, I'm worried that success has found you too soon. And this was one of the most difficult lessons I've ever had to learn. I enjoy talking about my experiences, both positive and negative, since I believe I can inspire, persuade, and urge people to follow in my footsteps. Because I'm with a lot of up, I want to demonstrate to people that you can still succeed on your own whenever you achieve success. However, you are unaware that some people detest your movements when you do this. Additionally, it will frequently be the people you have a close relationship with. It will be the individuals you love the most. And this is the bit that many people miss. They also love you. However, kids will always see you in some aspects of their lives, and they begin to view you differently as you start to surpass it. Emanny, if you keep talking about content production, this will happen. Flip had the same thing with Joe. He grew too big for his britches to the extent that Joe was reluctant to discuss his outdoor endeavors in a positive light. Not at all. And Mona is already feeling that way because Joe was already talking about it when she was talking about her comic segment, to which Ish was invited. But however, Joe already recognizes the play with it, which is why he expressed his desire to be invited to these events. However, Joe, this is the reason you are not invited to those events. And regrettably, it hasn't occurred yet. Joe has two options. However, I already know what choice he will make. Emanny, when you tell Joe that you want a content house in 2026, you're not only letting him know that your Patreon is really successful, but you're also implying that you weren't earning enough working for him. He will view it that way. And additionally, it's possible that you will be appearing on the Patreon shows less frequently to further that and usurp your movements. He replied, you need to sit your ass down this episode, since he's already implementing it. He's already playing the game, even though you're going through personal struggles that would make going to work better rather than worse. As a result of your commitment to building a content house, you will collaborate with other individuals to produce content. You'll have a space set up where you can continuously produce content and perhaps even construct your own studio, something Joe took years to accomplish, incidentally. Joe was gonna, he will stare at you as if you're biting the hand that is currently feeding you. What would happen if Joe withheld half of your salary? And I don't mean to be hateful. I'm getting agitated because you're talking about things that haven't happened yet. And it is evident from your channel's trajectory that you will be able to obtain whatever you want in order to advance your content creation. But until your name is written on that dotted line, you must keep that a secret. And I wouldn't be saying this if you weren't working with Joe, the quiet, petty, and kingly person. Yeah, be happy. Inform your friends. Unfortunately, though, you all are employed in the same sector, so he will either step up to you about it or step over you and take action if he feels that what you're doing would step on his toes. What is the primary factor that could prevent you from moving at all? I'm the only one paying you, especially if from the outside looking in, Joe understands this to be true. I'm not claiming that this is the case. Oh no, you're not. What do you believe? What do you suppose this is? I permitted you to start a Patreon. That sounds harsh. It sounds harsh. I permitted you to start a Patreon because this is where all of your current fame originated, and you're now discussing expanding and developing a content production company? Why? How much time away from work will you need to pursue your goals? They always advise against telling your employer that you plan to start your own business, especially if it's in the same industry. Non-competes were established and continue to exist for a reason, but all of this sounds really bad. I'm happy with the way you're headed financially, so I don't even want to give that impression. I just wanted to let you know. You must be aware of who you're interacting with and how they respond to your blessings. To your blessings, not your blessings. Nobody wants you to succeed, and everyone wants to be able to see you in a certain way. Joe speaks to you and Flip this way all the time for a purpose, but you already know what's wrong with me. I will create a different video about that. This one may already be too long. I just wanted to share a few thoughts. Tell me how you guys do with this 2-topic video instead of just one, and I'll produce more of these in the future if you like them. You can be sure that I'm going to give you all a double whammy. I really wanted to produce 3 videos and release them all at once because I had a lot of ideas, but I'm not quite that courageous yet. But if you want me to drop the 3rd one tonight, please let me know. If not, I'll drop it early in the morning, but I'll see you a little later. If you enjoy the video, please like it. If you have the page, subscribe to it. If you have, you already know how awesome we are over here. You already know how we're going to start this process and keep moving forward. Over here, sweetie, all we see is ascension. But I'll see you all shortly. Tranquility.